Hello friends, welcome back to another vlog. I am trying to pull myself together a little bit. I have a hair appointment to get my roots covered up this afternoon, late, like at 4 o'clock. And I'm trying to get everything done today so that I'm ready to go out of town tomorrow for my grandma's funeral. About a 5-hour drive, and I am just trying to get as much stuff done today as possible so that there's not as much to do tomorrow morning, because I don't like the morning last minute shuffle. Trying to get out the door is always a little bit chaotic and crazy. However, our regular life is also a little bit chaotic and crazy, so trying to balance the normal things that need to be done. I wrapped up this week's school with the kids, and because you guys know we school 4 days a week, so we don't do school on Fridays normally, so that will be fine for tomorrow. They're where they need to be for the week, and I'm actually really excited. We're starting a really fun section in history next week that sometimes, you guys know I've talked about this before, like sometimes we just kind of go with what the book says. We do like an open and go, right? We just open it and do what the lesson says. And then other times there's stuff that I'm like, no, this would be fun for us to dive a little deeper with, and so we'll extend it. So I think that these 2 history lessons, I'm gonna try to spend some time over the weekend, if I can, figuring out how I want to beef them up a little bit more, so that we can kind of make them expand out for, longer than just 1 day per lesson. So we can really kind of dive a little bit deeper, because it's fascinating topics to me. So that is one of the things that I get asked a lot about, lots of questions about homeschooling and stuff like that. But that's one of the things that I love most about homeschooling, is that I get to learn alongside with my kids, and I care so much more now at this age about learning things and educating myself and stuff than I did when I was younger. And a part of me is like, man, why didn't you pay more attention in school on this topic or that topic or whatever? And I did really well in school. I did really well in school, in high school, once I figured out that, like, oh, by the way, you're gonna have to try really hard, and if you try really hard, you can do well. Prior to that, so I was on the struggle bus. But anyways, so now I'm like, I don't know, like part of me's like, I want to go back to school. I want to like learn about this, and I want to get a degree in that. And it's so funny. I feel like I was saying to a friend earlier, I think that you should go to college at like 30 instead of 18. So I feel like you've lived enough then to know more about the things that you really care about and are passionate about and want to learn about. And you also just care to learn more, I think, the older you get. At least for me, that's been the case. So anyways, all of that to say, I've been really excited about some of the stuff we've been learning about in school lately, and it makes it just as much fun for me. And hopefully my excitement over the topics is contagious for the kids and they enjoy it too. So just kind of one of those happy accidents of homeschooling, is that like as the teacher, you're getting to learn and relearn things and add more knowledge about certain topics. Maybe you just learned very basic about something and you want to know even more about it. You can do that. So anyways, it's just fun. I really enjoy it. It's 1:30. We have already finished up school for the day. I had a call earlier, which was interesting. Could prove to be something really cool. We shall see. I think that's kind of one of the tough parts about like doing this and stuff, is that we can't, like, exciting things come up, right? You get emails with things that are potential offers and potential opportunities and stuff, and then you kind of have to go through the motions of talking to different people, figuring out if it's a right fit and all of this. So it makes it really hard to, like, and many times too, like even contractually speaking, like you can't talk about anything until it reaches a certain point. And so that does kind of stink, because I feel like, I've said this so many times, but like, I feel like y'all are my friends, and I feel like we just sit down and chat sometimes about stuff and life and whatever, and I want to be like, oh my gosh, friend, guess what happened? I got this call today and talked to this person and it sounded really cool and it might work out, and how cool would that be? But I can't really do that, I have to just be like, well, and I'm with you guys. Like, I don't like it when people are like, oh, I have something really exciting possibly coming up, and then they never tell you what it is, or it never happens or whatever. Anyways, all that to say, I guess I'm doing that exact same thing right now by saying that, but this is one of those things that there should be some resolution on relatively quickly. So if it goes in a positive direction, I'll be able to share. If it goes in a negative direction, I'll be able to share then too. So we shall see what happens. But that was a very interesting call and surprising, I guess. It was kind of one of those things that I agreed to take the call thinking like, oh, this is just going to be a waste of my time, but I'll take it. And then once I got off the phone with this lady, I was like, this could be really cool. So anyways, let's see what else. I need to put some concealer on, please. You know, I so desperately wish that we had comments, because I am going to be in the car with my sister, Ashley, for hours, and I think it would be so fun. I want us to do like a Q&A, because it's been a long time since she and I have done any kind of video together. You know, since we ended the podcast and then she's moved and stuff. I mean, we see each other, but it's not like we're never filming anything for that. It's never like, oh yeah, let's get together and film this, because she's not down the street anymore. So I think it would be fun, and something that she and I haven't done together in a long time. And yeah, so it's like, I just wish we flipping had our comments back so I could ask you guys to leave some questions. I'm probably going to put up a thing on Instagram for some questions. By the time you see this, that won't be there anymore, but kind of feels like sometimes you're just talking into the abyss because you don't know who you're talking to, because you can't read comments. But I try to kind of like in my mind imagine you guys as like, there were so many of your names that we were just like recognized and were regular commenters on our videos before, and that's just kind of like in my mind who I pretend like I'm talking to when I'm talking to you guys, because YouTube has taken our comments. They've taken my bird in my bush. In other more shallow news, I don't think I'm going to cut my hair anymore. I think I'm ready to grow it back out. I know this is like the highlight of your day, hearing about this. Like, what else could you possibly have to do that was more important than listening to me talk about whether or not I should cut my hair? But I don't. Today I just have an appointment for a dye for this situation. But I don't think I'm going to cut my hair again for a while. Well, I'll trim it, but I'm not going to keep cutting it short. I think I'm just going to let it grow for a little while. Let it grow. Let it grow. That's not the words, I know. But I feel like, you know, it's been a good while since I cut my hair, and I'm kind of ready to get to grow it back out again and do that for a little while, and then I'll probably cut it again. Who knows? And all of this week's rough things, the plumbing seems to have been able to fix the plumbing himself. I will double check with him on where he's at with that, but I think he got that taken care of. I did also find out this week that a relative of CR's passed away as well. Again, like, I don't want to go, that's, you know, his family and his side of the family and everything, but it was unexpected and very, very sad, and trying to figure out kind of what we can do there, and when services are going to be, and if we can go. It's, you know, across the country from us, so I'm not sure the timing and what we're going to be able to make work. But it's just been kind of one of those weeks that's like, I'm trying really hard to hold on to the positives, the good, the happy things, because there quite frankly have been quite a few really rough things in the last like 7 days, but there's also been some really wonderful, beautiful answers to prayer too. So it's like, man, life is really this like bittersweet holding of these two things all the time. Like, sometimes we're holding beauty and pain all at the same time. We're holding joy and suffering all at the same time. At least in my life, my experience has been that it's not often that you're fully in one without the other. There's usually some thread of each in your life at some point. Now, one will be often stronger than the other at the time, and that's just kind of like the mantra I've had in my mind all week this week, and thinking about the good things that have happened this week, but also the really hard and sad things that have happened this week. Is like, you just kind of have to hold it all together at the same time, and like, that's the reality of existence, you know? So anyways, so just kind of trying to truck along with life. I know in a few videos ago I mentioned to you guys about how we had to have like a come to Jesus about grocery budget because of how out of control it was. It's so much so that like, I'm almost too embarrassed to tell you guys how much we spent. Like, that's what it is. I'm like embarrassed to tell you that. So I did a video. It went up on my other channel yesterday. This video should go up on Saturday. So that means that video went up on Friday on my Angela Braniff channel. And it was about like meal planning and budgeting and all of that for groceries. So if you guys want to go check that out, I'll leave that link down below. I'm really excited. I feel like we're moving in the right direction with a better meal plan and all of that, and budgeting and stuff for groceries, so that we're not paying out the nose for food all the time. I'm really excited to be moving in the right direction there. It's just kind of like one of those like areas of our budget that we just kind of let go and shouldn't have. And now I feel like I'm even more like hyper aware of stuff. I think it's interesting because I think sometimes people, you know, especially here on YouTube and stuff, families, you never really know like what's appropriate to talk about and what's too much information, what's divulging too much information. I don't know if you guys watch Colin and Katie. I don't know them personally at all, but I did see that they did some videos recently where they've been talking about like their debt disaster and budgeting and stuff, and they've like literally gone on camera and said like, this is how much our house costs, this is how much debt we have, and they're kind of doing like this budget makeover. I found their videos very fascinating and interesting. I think it's great that they're being so open and honest about like financial stuff. Like I said, that's just not something that is super common. I also watch a show on YouTube called The Financial Diet. I don't know if any of you guys are subscribed to The Financial Diet, but I enjoy a lot of their content. And they do a podcast, and they recently interviewed Ingrid Nielsen from YouTube, and they were talking about money and stuff, and she was like super frank and forthcoming with how much money she's made in the past on YouTube, how much money she makes now on YouTube. And I was shocked. Like, she was throwing out numbers, and people just don't do that. So I find it super fascinating when people are comfortable being that candid and honest, and I think it's great for conversation and education and all of that. So if you guys haven't ever watched TFD or The Financial Diet, there's some good information there, especially depending on, it's definitely geared for younger people, and probably not necessarily towards like moms of 8 kids. Definitely more of like a millennial type thing, but I find so much of their information interesting. And I don't know, I've told you guys this before, I watch a lot of random stuff on YouTube that's not made for me, but it interests me. And that's always my thing. I talk about that too, like recognizing when content is made for you or you just enjoy consuming it, because there's a lot of things that I watch and there's things that I might disagree with or whatever, but it's very easy for me to recognize that like I am not the target audience for this content. I am not their Jane Doe. I'm not who they're trying to target with this content. I just happen to enjoy it, which I think also speaks to just good content, is people often enjoy it who aren't even your target market. So anyways, all that to say, I've really enjoyed a lot of the content on The Financial Diet. So anyways, I'm gonna finish getting ready. I think this is gonna be a one-take video, and some of you guys like that stuff and some of you hate that, and I'm really sorry that nobody else is in the vlog, just me. But I just kind of wanted to update you guys on where we're at, what's going on. It's just been really hard to vlog this week. With all the family things going on, there's just not been much that we were comfortable vlogging. But like I said, there is the meal planning video that went up on my other channel. There's a decluttering video over there if you guys want to see that. And then I am going to film a Q&A with my sister when I see her, and I'll put that up as well soon. So hopefully we will get back to business as usual, vlogs as usual very soon. I just need to get through the next few days of just a lot of like family stuff, personal stuff, and then we will be back to regular programming. So don't be too disappointed that you're only seeing Up My Nose today and not the adorable children. I do apologize. Up My Nose is no place I would want to be either, but I appreciate you guys, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this monologue, which is basically what it was Angie monologuing about all the things going on in life right now. If you made it to the end, I love you dearly, and you are my people, and I know this. There's so many of you guys that if I could have you over for a cup of coffee and we could just chat about these things, I would do that, but I cannot. So alas, I will talk to my camera while I attempt to do my makeup, and that will have to do. So thank you guys so much again for all of your just love and support and encouragement over on Instagram and stuff. It really does mean so much to us. So the ups and downs of life, you know, we like to keep it real here. Life is not always highs, sometimes there's lows, and we're just kind of in one of those places right now. So we're gonna get through the next few days, and then we'll be back to programming as usual. That's it for today's video, guys. We'll see y'all very soon. You always find me here when the world thinks that I've disappeared. You know just where to look.